Okay guys, if you want the chance, I'll be giving away one of these overmolded M1 Grands in next week's video. All you have to do to have a chance to win is leave a like on the video, comment down below, make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel, and on with the episode. Okay guys, welcome back to another episode of Building Vietnam in Lego. Now this week we're going to have a lot of progress on this rice field. We did some polls in last week's episode. Now I haven't checked them recently, but I checked them I think a couple days after last week's episode came out, and I think it was, so there was two options. One was put two rice fields up front here and do like a tree line in the back, or have this be completely green and have a rice field there and a rice field there. So we'll have green, green, rice field, rice field. So it'd be like diagonal. And last time I checked, there was like 300 people that liked the layout I have right now, having two rice fields in the front and then like a tree line in the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and check those again before I start building. But that's kind of the plan of attack for this video. We're going to be working on that. And we have plenty of green plates. I have all the ones that you see on the mock, plus all of these. So we should have plenty. Plus I have some more smaller ones because I have like all these 2x4s and some other ones kind of mixed around in some bins around here. So we should be pretty good. And then we'll be able to start laying down, figuring out where we want to put these transparent green pieces to symbolize the water. So I'm going to go ahead, readjust the camera, go check that poll, and come back to you guys with some more accurate numbers. One quick thing I wanted to point out in this week's video is I put all these kits on my website. These are from my personal collection. I'm just trying to get rid of them. For example, I have one of these already, so I don't need two. I have one of these already, and same with the Jeeps and whatnot. All these are kind of duplicates. So these are all on my website. I'll put a link in the description. Go check them out if you guys are interested. Okay, so I took a look at last week's video and I was off on my numbers. There was a total of 270 people replied to the poll. So 75% or 200 people want it to be left like this, which is the two rice fields in the front. And then 15% or 41 people said they like the idea of having two rice fields diagonally. And then 9% or 26 people said do something other than those two options. So obviously majority wins in this case. I personally, I'm still doubting that this will look good having two rice fields in the front, but I think we can make it look good, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, I just need to, the one thing now that I'm kind of thinking about is if I move the camera over a little bit. So this is like gonna be the start of the city over here. I don't know how this transition is gonna work, because it'd be really weird if it was just like grass and then boom, right here's a rice field and then the city's like right there. So I don't know if we're gonna do a road or if we're gonna do like a wall or something, because that transition's too abrupt right there. So I don't know what that's gonna be yet, but I just need to keep that in mind. And if you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments down below. But I think I'm just going to start laying out bricks. I know one thing I can do now that we've made up our mind is we can basically, so like all these plates back here, those are all pressed down because we knew that was going to be all green. So now I can continue to do that in this back section here. So I'm probably going to start by doing that, and that'll give me some more time to think about kind of what I want to do right here and then over there. So let's go ahead and start back there. Okay, so I got all this filled in with green. I left a little bit of room back over here just because, like I mentioned in the last clip, I don't know how I'm going to do this transition from rice field to whatever's going to be over here. So I left a little bit of room there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do the final layout. Like all these plates, for example, they're not actually pressed down. I just kind of set them on top of these studs so I can kind of get a visual representation of what I want. So I might even remove them all and do it again. And once we get something I like, I'll come back and then I'll probably start actually pressing them down like I did back there. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is what I got going on so far is I finished laying out all these plates here. This, let's see, not all of these are pushed down. Actually, no, this front row is all pushed down. Some of these are just sticking up a little bit. That full front row is pushed down, and then like all of these are pushed down. These are not pushed down right here. So basically I just wanted to, if I give you guys kind of a bird's eye view, I kind of wanted just, not a circle, but not a rectangle. Basically like a rectangle with some rounded corners on it, and I wanted them to be different. So now what I'm probably going to do, I kind of like the look of this. Before I press these down, what I'm most likely going to do is I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to take these 2x6s, and like you saw here, I'm going to kind of lay them out how I like them, just to make sure I like the overall shape of this before I go ahead and press them down. So I'm going to go ahead, come in, do that, because we're going to do kind of like a cross pattern. That way the soldiers, not the soldiers, but the farmers have a little path that they can walk along and get to the full rice paddy field. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so this is what I have for kind of the little trails or pathways in between where the water is going to be. I had them a little bit more jagged, but I straightened them out a little bit. I wanted it to make it, I don't know, it just looks better. I had some of these kind of like offset like that. You know, realistically, it would be like that, but you know, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. So those are subject to change is what I'm saying. But I think I like this layout, so I'm probably going to go ahead and press down all these plates around here, and then probably either move these around, play with that a little bit more, or leave it how it is and go ahead and press those down as well. And then it's a matter of, do we want to go straight into putting these little pieces down? So that's something I got to think about. I'll probably do the rough math on how many studs are in each one of these little quadrants on all of these, and make sure I have enough of these. I think I have 1,600 of them, so let's go ahead and do that, and I will come back and show you guys what I got going on. Okay, I got all the plates pressed down. I started to put these little 1x1s, this big bag here I have, and I started to kind of put them down, and I started thinking, and I'm like, you know, I had showed on the channel on this video series, I had some of these that were not tiles, but they were plates, and they were transparent green. I don't know where they went. I had a good amount of them, and I wanted to use a couple of them, put them every now and then so we could put little pieces of grass. Let me actually zoom in so you guys can kind of see what I'm saying. So I could have little pieces of grass. Instead, right now, I mean, they could easily be knocked over because there's no stud contact. They're just kind of sitting there. I mean, that's fine. You know, I might just go ahead and order some. I do need to order some more like grass pieces anyway. So if the store has any on BrickLink, I'll probably pick some up. But for now, I feel like we're okay because, like, you know, technically these could just kind of sit there. You know, save a little bit of money by not buying them, but they're not that expensive, so that's just something that's been on my mind. So I might try to look through my collection. I might just buy some. The problem is if I wait, then I'm not going to be able to put much of this down in this episode. So I'm thinking that's kind of the dilemma I'm running into right now. So I might go ahead and try to work on some other things on the mock right now, and we'll probably get those ordered and in by next week's episode. But I did want to mention, we're going to need a lot of grass and tree parts for back here, and just all this green's basically going to be covered. So what I'm doing is I'm going through my collection, I'm finding all the bins that have like plant pieces in them, and I'm going through and I'm setting them out. Then I also have like this one. We're going to need to get more of these leaf pieces for some trees. So I'm setting everything out so I can kind of take an inventory of what I need to order, because we're going to need a lot more grass. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you guys what I got, and then I'm probably going to make a list and go ahead and order that stuff. Luckily, I realized I have all of this grass, which is good. I don't think this will be enough, but I'm thinking I'm going to hold off on ordering anything until we use all this up, because if I order a bunch now, I'm not going to know how much to order, and I'm probably going to order more than I need. So I'm just trying to be lean and try not to spend money if I don't have to. So we're probably going to start with using this first, then we're going to actually order more. So I have a good amount of grass pieces and whatnot, so I think I'm going to probably start using these to detail, and then we can go from there. Okay, so I've completely filled this little rice field quadrant in. Let me actually take the camera off of the tripod here for a second. So I've completely filled this one in. I wanted to do that on at least one of these to start looking at it, and okay, let's back up. It looks good, but we have an issue, and you can probably tell by this angle what the issue is. See how it's darker right there and then lighter right there? So that's because all of these, there's a dark tan plate under. All of these, it's a tan plate under. That's going to drive me crazy, because even if I turn off the studio light, you can still see distinctly a difference there. And I don't like that. So what we're probably going to have to do, which is really unfortunate, but we're going to have to come in here and tear this plate up here. Luckily, I have another one of these, so we're basically going to have to put this plate right there. We're going to have to put this plate right here, like that. And then we're going to have to take some smaller dark tan plates and fill in that section there. Then luckily those two are good. This one's almost good. This is another 16 by 16 plate here. We'll probably just have to use some smaller dark tan plates to fill that in. We'll have to replace that red. I'll have to put some of these parts on top of these to see how they look. I mean, you can see the difference already if I put these on different colors. So like the dark gray might be fine. The red, that's an easy piece to replace. Reddish brown's probably okay, but that tan, if I zoom in, that tan is just, you can see it so easily through there. I don't know why. It's just because it's such a light color compared to some of these. So we're going to have to go in and fix all that. So that's what I'm going to be working on next, which is a bummer because I was going to start working on this road section up here. But we gotta fix this before I get too carried away and do any more of this. So, you know, we got to tear this up, which probably means tearing this piece up to get to this piece, and then I'm gonna have to take all those little tiles off, which is like 2, 4, 6, 8, like, I don't know, that 10 by 10, there's probably 100 of them or something right there. But I added some shrubs and whatnot, kind of. This will be for the thumbnail, but this will simulate kind of what we want grass wise all the way around all these. So I just thought I'd show you that. That's one thing. I don't know if you remember, like in episode 5 or 6 when I was talking about these, I had some test plates that I was putting these on so I could figure out that exact reason, is what plate underneath these tiles would look good because they're transparent. And I totally goofed, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, I remember back in a previous episode I told myself and I told you guys, I said we're going to make sure it's dark tan underneath these plates. For whatever reason I started doing it and I didn't even notice or didn't even pay attention to there were some tan plates. So, you know, live and learn. We got to fix that, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do next. Okay guys, so I just finished replacing, I think it was, let's see, these two plates, or no, it was actually these two right here, and then this one I had to use some smaller plates. I had some, I think these are 6 by 12s that I used back here, then I also had to use some smaller dark tan plates, which is fine, but everything's good there. The only thing I have left to do is replace this one, and I really need a 16 by 16 in dark tan, but I don't have one. I don't know where any are. I'm gonna have to look for them because this spans such a big gap because of this underground, whatchamacallit, not walkway, but tunnel system. So it can't be made up of smaller plates. It's gotta be a bigger plate. So we're gonna have to hold off on that. Let me actually turn on this light. That might help out a little bit. See what I'm talking about here. But yeah, really excited. So now I can actually finish tiling this in. The downside is, where is it? This plate, I'm gonna have to, like I said, take off all of those. It looks kind of cool, but the dark tan definitely makes it look better. So that's probably gonna be saved for next week's episode. I'm probably gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna cut to the giveaway winners, then I'm gonna come back and talk about a couple more things. Okay guys, we're gonna be picking the winner from episode 12, so let's do this. We got 312 unique users found. We click this 3 times, and the winner is K_gaming. Love your vids. Thank you, K_gaming. All you have to do is send me an email through my website, x39brickcustoms.com. Full name, full address, zip code, all that good stuff. We can figure that out, and I can get that prize out to you guys. Alright, let's wrap this video up. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this week's episode 13 of Building the Battle of Vietnam in Lego. I think we made some good progress. I wish I would have had more time to work on this mock. Things came up and I'm just really busy working on this new release of products. So trying my best to balance things out. Like I said, we are probably by next week we'll have most of these rice fields done, because this is something I can easily do whenever I don't have something to do. I can just come over here and take some of these 1x1s and start filling in these. So I would expect by next week's episode you to see all of those filled in and basically those be pretty much done, and then we're going to start using like grass and tree pieces like that and basically just covering this mock. So it's going to look really cool. It's starting to look like Vietnam, like I said, and I'm really excited for that. We're also probably going to work on the road up there in next week's episode. I was going to work on that today, but once again, just didn't have time. But once again, thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys tell a friend about the channel to come check out the mock series if they also like historical builds and Lego related things. And other than that, I'll put last week's episode up here. I'll put the complete playlist up there. Subscribe by clicking there. That helped me out a bunch. I'm trying to get to 75,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And at this rate, we'll probably just hit that, if not overshoot that and maybe hit 80. So guys, keep up the momentum. I really appreciate it. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and I'll see you next Sunday for another episode of Building Vietnam in Lego.